In the heart of a large city, on the highest hill, stood a grand mansion. The mansion belonged to the Collins family, one of the richest families in the entire city. Their wealth was known to everyone. Their name was spoken with respect and sometimes with a little fear. But what people mostly talked about was their daughter, Emma Collins. Emma was a mystery to everyone. People said she was blind. She never went out of the mansion, and even those who met her said her eyes were always empty, like she could not see anything at all. This made people curious. How could someone so young and from such a rich family live a life hidden away from the world? Some said she was very sick. Others believed the story that she was born blind. The truth, however, was something that no one knew. Not even Emma's closest neighbors or family friends. The mansion itself was like a castle, tall and shining in the sunlight. Its walls were painted white, with large windows that looked out over the city below. Beautiful gardens surrounded the house, full of colorful flowers and tall trees that swayed gently in the wind. But the most beautiful thing in the garden was Emma herself. Emma was a quiet girl with soft brown hair that fell just below her shoulders. She wore simple clothes, usually light dresses that matched the gentle color of her skin. When she walked, she moved slowly, with careful steps, as if the world was fragile and she did not want to break anything. People often saw her standing by the large windows, her face turned toward the light. But her eyes never seemed to focus on anything. It was as if she was trapped in a world without colors or shapes. The town believed Emma's blindness was real. They felt sorry for her and wondered how a girl who could not see could live such a lonely life. Emma's father, Mr. Collins, was a tall man with a stern face. He rarely showed any emotion. He spent most of his time in his office, working on his many business deals. His wife, Mrs. Collins, was gentle but sad. She often sat by Emma's side, holding her hand, whispering soft words that no one else could hear. No one except the family staff really knew what life was like inside the mansion. The house was full of servants, people who cleaned the rooms, cooked the food, and cared for Emma. But even they seemed to keep their distance. Emma was treated like someone very fragile, someone who needed constant care. Among the servants, there was one person who understood Emma better than anyone else. Her name was Grace. Grace had been with the family for many years. She was quiet but kind, always watching Emma with eyes full of love and sadness. Grace believed that Emma's blindness was more than just a condition, it was a secret. One rainy evening, as the sky darkened and thunder rumbled softly in the distance, Emma sat alone by the fireplace in the big living room. The fire's warm light flickered on her face, casting soft shadows on the walls. She held a small book in her hands, but she did not read. Instead, she listened to the rain tapping against the windows. Grace entered the room quietly, carrying a tray with a cup of warm tea. She placed it carefully on the small table beside Emma and sat down in the chair next to her. "Emma," Grace said softly, "will you come to the garden tomorrow? The flowers are blooming, and the sun will be warm." Emma's lips moved slowly, forming words that seemed like a whisper. "I wish I could see them, Grace." Grace looked at Emma's face and felt a deep ache in her heart. She wanted to say something, but the words were hard to find. Instead, she reached out and gently took Emma's hand in hers. "You don't need to see, Emma. I will describe the garden to you. Every flower, every leaf. You will feel the sunshine on your skin, the soft wind on your face. You will know the garden, even if your eyes cannot." Emma squeezed Grace's hand, a small smile touching her lips. "Thank you, Grace." As the night grew darker, Emma sat quietly by the fire, her thoughts far away. She wanted to believe that the world was still full of light and color, even if she could not see it. But deep inside, she knew that something was wrong. Something she could not explain. Outside the mansion, the city lights twinkled like stars. People went about their lives, unaware of the secret hidden behind the mansion's high walls. Emma's blindness was not just a fact. It was a story carefully created by her family. A story to protect her, or perhaps to protect something much more important: their fortune, their power, and their reputation. In the end, the world saw Emma as the blind daughter of a billionaire. A sad girl living in a lonely castle. But what they did not see was the truth waiting in the shadows. The truth that could change everything. And the secret was about to be uncovered. The morning sun shone softly over the Collins mansion. The big house looked calm and peaceful, but inside, a new story was about to begin. Anna had arrived. She was a young woman from a small village far away. Anna was not like the other servants in the mansion. She was quiet but very smart. She had a kind face and eyes that saw everything clearly. When she stepped into the grand halls of the mansion, something about her made the air change. Anna was hired to be a maid in the Collins house. She was told about Emma, the blind daughter who never left the mansion. Anna listened carefully. She felt curious about Emma. How could a girl live inside such a big house and never go outside? How could she live without seeing the world? On Anna's first day, she met Grace, the older maid who cared for Emma. Grace was kind but tired. When Anna asked about Emma, Grace looked away, then smiled softly. "Emma is special," Grace said quietly. "You will see." Anna nodded but didn't say more. She wanted to know the truth. That afternoon, Anna was cleaning the large windows in the living room when Emma came in. The girl walked slowly, holding onto the walls for support. Her eyes, the color of soft brown, seemed empty. But Anna noticed something strange. Emma's eyes sometimes moved quickly, like she was watching something no one else could see. Anna's heart beat faster. She wanted to say hello but did not want to scare Emma. So she smiled and bowed her head gently. Emma stopped and looked at Anna. "Hello," she said softly. Anna felt a warm feeling inside. "Hello, Emma. I am Anna. I will take care of the house and help you if you need." Emma smiled back, but her smile was small, like a secret she was holding close. Days passed. Anna learned the routine of the house: the quiet halls, the large rooms filled with old furniture, the garden outside with its many flowers. But most of all, Anna watched Emma. Emma's life was strange. She spent hours sitting by the windows, listening to the sounds outside. She loved the smell of the garden, the soft touch of the wind on her skin. But she never moved freely. Her steps were careful, as if she was afraid to fall. One afternoon, Anna found Emma sitting alone in the garden, her face turned toward the sky. The sun was warm, and the flowers around her bloomed brightly. "Emma," Anna said softly, "do you want to walk with me?" Emma looked at her, surprised. "I don't want to fall." Anna smiled gently. "I will help you. Take my hand." Emma hesitated but then reached out. Anna held her hand firmly. Slowly, they walked through the garden. Emma's steps became less afraid. She felt the grass under her feet, the petals of flowers brushing against her arms. For the first time in a long time, Emma felt free. Anna's heart was full of happiness. She wanted to protect Emma, to help her see the world, even if only with her hands and heart. But there was more. Anna's sharp eyes noticed something strange in the mansion. She saw how the family's staff behaved around Emma. They were kind but distant, almost afraid. No one spoke much about Emma's blindness, but everyone seemed to believe it was true without question. One evening, while Anna was cleaning the library, she heard voices coming from the big office on the second floor. She stopped and listened. "It's risky," a man's voice said. "If anyone finds out she can see, we will lose everything." Mr. Collins's voice was low but firm. "She must stay hidden. Our fortune depends on it." Anna's mind raced. Could Emma really see? Why was this kept a secret? And why did it matter so much? That night, Anna couldn't sleep. She thought about Emma and the strange words she had heard. She wanted to help, but she was just a maid. What could she do? The next day, Anna decided to talk to Grace. Maybe Grace knew more. In the quiet kitchen, Anna asked gently, "Grace, is Emma really blind?" Grace looked at Anna with tired eyes. For a moment, she did not answer. Then she whispered, "No. She is not blind. But she cannot tell anyone." Anna's eyes grew wide. "Why?" Grace sighed deeply. "Because her father is afraid. Afraid of what the world would say if they knew. The Collins family has many enemies. They believe hiding Emma's sight will keep her safe." Anna's heart filled with both sadness and anger. Sadness for Emma, who lived in a prison of lies. Anger at the world that forced her into silence. That afternoon, Anna went to Emma's room. She sat beside her and held her hand. "You're not blind," Anna said softly. Emma looked at her with a mixture of hope and fear. "I am not. But if people find out, my father will be very angry. He says it is for my own good." Anna squeezed Emma's hand. "You don't have to live like this. I will help you." For the first time, Emma felt that someone truly understood her. A small light grew inside her heart, a light of hope. Outside, the sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. The mansion stood tall and silent on the hill, but inside, something was changing. Anna had come into Emma's life, bringing courage and truth. And soon, the secret that everyone believed would be exposed. But for now, in the quiet of the night, Emma closed her eyes and dreamed of a world where she could live without fear. The mansion was quiet again after dinner. The large dining hall was empty, except for the soft clinking of glasses being washed in the kitchen. Most of the servants had gone to bed, and the house was settling into its usual stillness. But upstairs, behind closed doors, a different kind of noise was happening. Anna was returning to her room after helping Emma prepare for bed when she heard voices coming from the big office. The door was slightly open, and through the crack, she could hear two men speaking in low, serious tones. Curiosity pulled Anna closer. She stopped just outside the door, careful not to make a sound, and listened. "It cannot be risked any longer," the first man said. His voice was cold and sharp. "If the truth about Emma gets out, it will destroy everything we have built." Anna's heart beat faster. She recognized the voice. It was Mr. Collins, Emma's father. The other man, who Anna had never seen before, replied quietly, "But she is your daughter. How can you keep her hidden like this? What about her happiness?" Mr. Collins's voice grew harder. "This is not about happiness. This is about survival. The enemies we have are watching closely. If they know Emma can see, they will use her to come after us." Anna felt a shiver run down her spine. What kind of enemies could be so dangerous? And why would they want to hurt a young girl? The other man sighed. There must be another way. Keeping her in the dark will only make her suffer. Mr. Collins's reply was firm and final. No other way. Emma will stay as she is. Blind to the world, and safe within these walls. Anna's mind raced. How could someone keep their own child like a secret? How could Emma's father choose fear over his daughter's happiness? She stepped back silently, her heart heavy with sadness and confusion. Later that night, Anna could not stop thinking about what she had heard. She lay in her small room, staring at the ceiling, wondering what life was really like for Emma. Why did the family need to hide her sight? Was it really to protect her, or was there something else? The next morning, Anna found Emma sitting by the window, her hands resting on the window sill. The sun was shining brightly, but Emma did not seem to notice. "Good morning, Emma," Anna said softly, walking over to her. Emma turned her head slowly, a small smile touching her lips. "Good morning, Anna." Anna sat beside her. "I heard voices last night. I know there is a secret." Emma's face grew serious. "Yes. There is a secret. A very big one." Anna waited quietly, hoping Emma would say more. Emma's voice was low but steady. "I can see, Anna. But everyone believes I am blind." Anna looked into Emma's eyes and saw a deep sadness there. "Why?" Anna asked gently. Emma took a deep breath. "My father said it was safer this way. He said if people knew I could see, they would try to use me. They want our family's fortune and power. He thinks hiding the truth will protect me." Anna felt a surge of anger. "But you don't have to live like this, Emma. You deserve to be free." Emma smiled sadly. "I wish it were that simple." Anna reached out and took Emma's hand. "We will find a way." Days passed, and Anna watched Emma closely. She noticed small things that showed Emma's sight: how she avoided sharp objects on the floor, how she reached out to touch the flowers in the garden without hesitation, and how her eyes sometimes followed movements around the room. Emma was not blind. She was trapped in a world of lies. Anna knew she had to be careful. If Mr. Collins found out that Emma's secret was no longer safe, he might punish both Emma and her. One afternoon, Anna decided to ask Grace for advice. Grace listened carefully as Anna told her everything she had learned and seen. Grace nodded slowly. "You are right, Anna. Emma's blindness is a story created to protect her. But it is also a prison." Grace's eyes filled with tears. "I have worked here for many years. I have watched Emma suffer in silence. The truth is dangerous, but so is hiding it." Anna's heart ached for Emma. "We have to help her," she said. Grace looked at Anna with hope. "Maybe together, we can." That evening, Anna and Grace spoke quietly with Emma. They told her they would stand by her no matter what. They promised to find a way to bring light to her life, not just the sunlight she could feel, but the truth she deserved. Emma's eyes shone with tears. "Thank you," she whispered. "I have waited so long for someone to believe me." Outside, the city lights flickered in the dark night. Inside the mansion, 3 women made a silent promise: to uncover the secret, to protect Emma, and to bring her out of the shadows. But the path ahead was dangerous. Mr. Collins's power was strong, and the enemies he feared were still waiting in the dark. Anna knew this was only the beginning. Days passed quietly in the Collins mansion, but inside Emma's heart, a storm was growing. The secret she had carried for so long felt heavier with each breath. She was not blind, her eyes saw the world clearly, but no one knew. No one could know. Anna and Grace became her secret friends. They stayed close, whispering words of comfort and hope. Yet, Emma's silence spoke louder than any words could. One early morning, Emma sat alone in the garden. The sun was gentle, warming the soft grass beneath her feet. The flowers bloomed all around, bright and full of life. But Emma's eyes, which could see it all, held only sadness. Grace found her there, kneeling beside the girl. "Emma," she said softly, "why don't you speak? You have so much to say." Emma looked up at Grace, her eyes shimmering with tears. "I want to speak," she whispered. "But I am afraid." Grace reached out and gently touched Emma's hand. "Afraid of what?" "Afraid that if I tell the truth," Emma said, her voice breaking, "everything will be taken away from me. My home, my family, everything." Grace nodded, understanding the weight of those words. "Secrets can be like chains, Emma. But sometimes, speaking the truth is the key to breaking free." Emma closed her eyes and took a deep breath. "I have lived behind a mask for so long. Everyone believes I am blind, but I watch them all. I see their faces, their words, their actions. Yet I cannot respond." Her voice grew stronger as she continued. "My father thinks this will protect me. But it only makes me feel alone. Like a prisoner." Grace's eyes filled with tears. "You are not alone anymore, Emma. Anna and I will help you. We will find a way." Emma smiled faintly but then looked away. "I want to be free. To live like other girls my age. To walk outside without fear." "But how?" That night, Anna joined them in the garden. She sat quietly beside Emma and said, "Emma, you are stronger than you know. And you do not have to do this alone." Emma looked at Anna, hope flickering in her eyes. "Do you really believe that?" Anna nodded. "Yes. Together, we will find the courage." Over the next few days, Emma began to trust Anna more. She told her small stories about what she saw from her window: the busy streets, the children playing, the birds flying in the sky. Anna listened carefully, painting pictures with words, helping Emma feel connected to the world outside. But even with their support, Emma's fear remained. One afternoon, while Anna helped Emma walk through the garden, Emma stopped suddenly. "What if my father finds out that I can see? What will happen to me?" Anna's heart ached. "He may be angry. But you deserve to live your life freely." Emma looked at the bright flowers around her and whispered, "I wish I could believe that." Inside the mansion, the atmosphere was tense. Mr. Collins remained distant and cold. He watched Emma carefully, always keeping his guard up. He believed that hiding Emma's sight was the only way to protect their family's power. But Anna and Grace knew better. They saw Emma's spirit slowly breaking under the weight of the lie. One evening, Anna found Emma sitting by the fire, staring into the flames. The warm light flickered on Emma's face, showing the quiet pain in her eyes. "Emma," Anna said gently, "you don't have to suffer in silence." Emma turned to her, tears spilling down her cheeks. "I feel like a shadow, Anna. Invisible and forgotten." Anna took Emma's hand firmly. "You are not a shadow. You are light. And we will help you shine." Emma looked at Anna with a mixture of fear and hope. For the first time, she believed that maybe, just maybe, her life could change. That night, Emma dreamed of freedom. She dreamed of walking outside without fear, of seeing the world with her own eyes, and of living without secrets. But when she woke, the walls of the mansion still stood tall around her. The secret was still there, waiting to be broken. And breaking it would not be easy. The days in the Collins mansion passed slowly, but inside, something was changing. Emma's secret no longer felt like a heavy chain. It was becoming a whisper, a quiet hope waiting to be heard. Anna and Grace were always near, their presence like a warm light in the dark house. Emma felt safer with them, and slowly, she began to open her heart. One afternoon, Anna brought a small notebook and a pencil to Emma's room. "Let's write," she said softly. "If you want, you can write what you feel. Sometimes, words on paper are easier than spoken words." Emma took the notebook carefully. Her fingers trembled as she held the pencil. But then, she began to write. Slowly at first, then faster, the words flowing from her heart onto the page. "I am not blind," she wrote. "I see the world every day. But I am trapped in silence." Anna smiled, her eyes shining. "This is your story, Emma. One day, the world will know." Grace came in quietly and sat beside them. "You are brave, Emma. More brave than you realize." Emma looked at her writing and felt a small spark of courage. For the first time, she believed she could fight the fear that had held her prisoner for so long. But the mansion was full of eyes and ears. Secrets were hard to keep, especially when the walls themselves seemed to listen. One evening, as Emma rested in her room, she heard footsteps outside. The door opened slowly, and Mr. Collins entered. His face was serious, his eyes sharp. Emma's heart beat faster. She quickly hid the notebook under her pillow. Mr. Collins looked at her for a long moment. "Emma," he said quietly, "you must remember why we keep your sight a secret." Emma nodded, trying to hide her fear. "I know, Father." "You must be careful," he warned. "The world is not kind to those who are different. You must stay safe." Emma's eyes filled with tears, but she stayed silent. She knew arguing would only make things worse. After Mr. Collins left, Emma sat quietly, her heart heavy. The walls of the mansion felt colder, and the secret felt heavier again. That night, Anna and Grace came to her room. They found Emma sitting by the window, staring into the darkness. "We will not let him win," Anna said softly. Grace nodded. "You deserve to live freely, Emma. We will find a way." Emma looked at them, her eyes shining with tears. "I want to be free. But I am scared." Anna took Emma's hand. "Courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite it." Emma squeezed Anna's hand. "Thank you for believing in me." The next day, Anna and Grace began to plan. They knew the secret had to come out slowly, carefully, so that Emma could be safe. They decided to teach Emma how to use her sight without being noticed. Small steps like opening her eyes more in public, touching things she could see, and learning to trust her own vision. Emma practiced quietly, learning to control her movements. Each day, she grew a little stronger, a little braver. But the risk was always there. Mr. Collins watched closely, and any mistake could bring disaster. One afternoon, while Emma was in the garden with Anna, a stranger appeared at the gate. Anna's heart skipped a beat. The stranger was a young man, dressed simply, but with sharp eyes that seemed to look through the walls. He spoke to the guard and asked to see Mr. Collins. The guard hesitated but then allowed him in. Anna and Emma watched nervously as the man walked toward the mansion. There was something about him that felt dangerous, like a shadow waiting to fall. That evening, Mr. Collins called a meeting with his closest advisors, including the stranger. Anna overheard whispers about enemies and threats, and how Emma's secret was the key to protecting their fortune. Emma's heart pounded. The danger was closer than she had imagined. But she also felt something new, a quiet strength inside her. She was not alone anymore. Anna and Grace were with her, and together, they would face whatever came. As the night deepened, Emma looked out the window. The stars were bright in the sky, shining like small beacons of hope. For the first time, she believed that the truth would find a way to shine through the darkness. The days that followed were tense in the Collins mansion. The arrival of the stranger had stirred something dark and uncertain. Mr. Collins seemed more restless than ever. His eyes were sharp, and his voice cold when he spoke to those around him. Emma felt the weight of the secret growing heavier. But with Anna and Grace by her side, she also felt a small flame of hope. One morning, as the sun cast soft light over the garden, Emma sat with Anna and Grace. The three of them were quietly planning their next steps. "We must be careful," Anna said, her voice low but firm. "The stranger is not here by accident. We don't know what he wants or who he is." Grace nodded. "And Mr. Collins is afraid. That means we have a chance." Emma looked at them, determination growing in her eyes. "I am ready. I cannot live like this anymore." Anna smiled. "We will protect you. Together." But the safety they hoped for was fragile. That same day, Mr. Collins called Emma to his office. The room was dim, the heavy curtains blocking the sunlight. Emma entered slowly, her heart pounding. Mr. Collins sat behind his large desk, looking tired but stern. "Emma," he began, "I know you are not blind." Emma's breath caught. She looked down, afraid to meet his eyes. "But you must understand," Mr. Collins continued, "the world is dangerous. If anyone finds out the truth, it will destroy us all." Emma's voice was soft but steady. "Father, I am not a danger. I want to live my life. I want to be free." Mr. Collins's eyes softened for a moment, then hardened again. "You don't understand what you are risking." Emma shook her head. "I understand more than you think. I am not a child anymore." The room was silent for a moment. Then Mr. Collins sighed deeply. "I will protect you, Emma. But only if you promise to be careful." Emma nodded. "I promise." As she left the room, a small hope bloomed inside her. Maybe, just maybe, her father would learn to accept the truth. That evening, Anna and Grace found Emma in the garden, looking at the stars. "I spoke to him," Emma said quietly. "He knows." Anna took her hand gently. "That is a start." Grace smiled softly. "Now, we must be patient and strong." But patience was not easy. The mansion felt colder, the shadows longer. One night, Emma was awakened by a noise. She heard voices outside her door, whispers that made her heart race. She listened carefully. "It's time," a voice said. "The secret cannot stay hidden any longer." Emma's eyes widened. Who was speaking? What did they mean? She quietly got out of bed and moved closer to the door. Suddenly, the door opened. It was Anna. "Emma, come with me," Anna whispered urgently. "There is something you need to see." Emma followed Anna through the dark hallways, her heart pounding. They stopped in front of a large door. Anna opened it slowly, revealing a room filled with old papers, photographs, and letters. "This is where the truth is kept," Anna said. The secret your father is trying to hide. Emma stepped inside, her eyes scanning the room. She picked up a letter and began to read. The letter told a story of danger, betrayal, and fear. It spoke of enemies who wanted to destroy the Collins family and how Emma's blindness was a lie created to protect her. Emma's hands trembled. She had never known the full story before. Anna put a hand on her shoulder. The truth is hard, but it is better than living in fear. Emma nodded, tears in her eyes. I want to be brave. For myself, and for everyone who believes in me. As they left the room, Emma felt stronger. She was ready to face whatever came next. But the mansion was not done with secrets yet. The next morning, Mr. Collins called a family meeting. The stranger was there, along with several men Emma had never seen before. Emma's heart beat fast as she entered the room. Mr. Collins stood at the front, his voice strong. We have enemies. People who want to take what is ours. The stranger stepped forward. And the secret about Emma is the key. Emma's eyes widened. The stranger knew. Mr. Collins looked at Emma, then at the men. We must protect the family. At any cost. Emma felt fear and anger rise inside her. But she also felt something else, hope. She would not be silent any longer. The tension in the Collins mansion was thicker than ever. The secret that had been hidden for so long was now out in the open, though not fully revealed. Emma stood quietly, feeling the eyes of everyone in the room on her. The stranger's words echoed in her mind, the secret about Emma is the key. Mr. Collins's face was stern, but there was a flicker of something new, fear mixed with determination. He knew their world was changing. Emma took a deep breath and stepped forward. Her voice was calm but strong. I am not blind. I can see. A hush fell over the room. The men exchanged looks. The stranger smiled slightly, as if he had been waiting for this moment. Mr. Collins's eyes softened for the first time in a long while. Emma, you are brave. Emma looked at her father. I want to live my life without fear. I want to be free. The stranger nodded. The world outside can be dangerous, but hiding only makes you weaker. Anna and Grace stood beside Emma, their faces full of pride. Mr. Collins sighed deeply. You have shown great courage. Perhaps it is time to stop hiding. The men around the room seemed to agree. The tension began to ease, replaced by a cautious hope. Later that day, Emma walked in the garden, feeling the warm sun on her face. The flowers bloomed brightly, their colors more vivid than ever. Anna joined her. You did well today. Emma smiled. I could not have done it without you and Grace. Anna shook her head. You had the strength all along. Grace came out to join them, carrying the notebook Emma had written in. You wrote your story, Grace said. It is time to share it with the world. Emma looked at the notebook and then at the two women who had become her family. Are you ready? Anna asked. Emma nodded. I am ready. The next weeks were filled with changes. Emma began to meet people outside the mansion, slowly at first, then with more confidence. She learned to trust her own eyes and her own heart. The story of the billionaire's daughter who was thought to be blind but was actually seeing spread quietly. People were surprised, but many admired her courage. Mr. Collins watched with pride as his daughter stepped into the light. He learned to let go of fear and trust in Emma's strength. One evening, as the sun set in soft shades of pink and orange, Emma stood on the balcony, looking out at the city. The lights twinkled like stars below. Anna and Grace joined her. The world is bright, Anna said. Emma smiled. Yes, and now I can see it all. Grace nodded. You have brought light to more than just yourself. Emma looked at her friends, her heart full. Thank you for believing in me. For helping me find my way. Anna hugged her gently. We will always be here. As night fell, Emma felt a peace she had never known. The secret was no longer a chain but a bridge to a new life. She was free. And the future was hers to see.